Shalom, family trendsetter. I'm at work, so you may hear some noise in the background, as well as I do have a tendency to struggle for words when I speak. Anyway, I want to give you an update as to the arrest of these devils that murdered this 15-year-old boy, stabbed him and chopped him to death. The boy mustered enough energy and strength to actually walk to the hospital where he died in front of the hospital. That's crazy. But anyway, I'm going to leave a clip that followed my commentary to show you the update of this arrest. I'm so glad that they caught these fuckers. All praise be to the Most High. Anyway, I also want to add to this. This is a time now, family, we need to reach out to our kids. We need to hold them and hug them and tell them how much you love them, because you never know when that last day or that last minute might come upon you where this is the final day that you are here on earth. And the manner that you are taken out actually says a lot, because as I told y'all before, we are our ancestors. Everything that our ancestors have done, we are reliving that shit through them. You know what I'm saying? We are our ancestors, or they're living the punishment through us, I should say. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all don't understand that when you die, you come back. Depends on how you live your life here on earth, which I refer to as hell. The Most High would decide whether or not he's going to bring you back into a situation where you might have a demise like the young man. I'm not saying the young man was wicked, but I can guarantee you somewhere down the line, one of his ancestors was wicked as hell. And that's why he came back, and the judgment was carried upon the seed or the offspring of your ancestors. I know it sounds crazy, but I know what I'm talking about. I've been doing a lot of research. The Bible said there's no new thing underneath the sun. So when you die, your spirit, which is the energy, it doesn't die. It lives on. And the Most High make a determination where it goes, whether it comes back to relive out the judgment that he have in store for it, or he put it into another place where, it might go back in righteousness and live in a paradise somewhere. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all Christian believe in hell. This is hell. We living in hell. Hell is a condition. That fire and brimstone that y'all talk about, that's the final death. That's the second death. That's where the Most High destroy the spirit and the soul. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said before, the spirit and the soul cannot die. It's energy. It just get transferred. All right? So I just wanted to come on here real quick to let you know that they did catch these, or apprehended, or some of these niggas turned themselves in and shit, which I'm glad that happened, that, justice can be carried out. My thing is this: I believe in a life for life. And the backstory is that one of the gang members believed they saw him, which really wasn't him. He was mistaken identity. It was like a mistaken identity type situation, right? So what happened was they seen a video of one of the gang members' little sister getting raped, you know what I'm saying, or getting sexual assault by two other individuals, and apparently he fit one of the description, and this is why they decided to retaliate. And I do understand to a degree why they did it, but I always believe in a life for life. If a life wasn't taken, then you shouldn't take another man's life. They could have handled that judgment on that individual if he was in fact the person, which in this case he weren't. You know what I'm saying? They could have handled it a lot differently. I believe personally these devils have the DNA of the so-called oppressor, and this is why they so fucking wicked, because this is something like what the oppressor would have done to an innocent person. But with that,
for justice for Junior, as one of the suspects in the brutal murder of a Belmont teen is walked out of the 48th Precinct Station House in Tremont. 19-year-old Kevin Alvarez is charged with second-degree murder, manslaughter, and gang assault. Cheers rang out in the Belmont neighborhood as word spread that 5 people were arrested in the brutal stabbing death of 15-year-old Lisandro Guzman Feliz, known as Junior.
Thank God they got him. They have to pay what they did with my son. My son was innocent.
Around 5 o'clock Sunday, another man was taken into custody in Paterson, New Jersey, one of 3 apprehended there. Another was arrested in the Bronx, and a 5th turned himself in after seeing himself in the surveillance video. Investigators say all of the suspects are members of a gang. Neighbors say it's the Dominican gang Trinitarios. Police say the teen killed was not connected to any gang. They've been searching for his killers since Wednesday, when they say the men dragged Guzman Feliz out of a bodega on Bathgate Avenue and East 183rd Street and then stabbed him repeatedly. Cell phone video shows the teen running 1 block to St. Barnabas Hospital, where he died.
I won't gonna have my son never. This is my little angel.
His family says Junior had big dreams of one day joining the NYPD. They say his murder is a case of mistaken identity. A relative who didn't want to show his face on camera says a gang member sent an apology on Snapchat.
They were just saying the messages that it wasn't for Junior. It was somebody else, but they confused him. And they said sorry, they apologized, and they sent their condolence, but it wasn't for them. But he's gone. That doesn't change anything.
And again, 8 people are now in police custody. Those arrested in Patterson will be arraigned tomorrow. A GoFundMe page has now raised nearly $150,000. And this afternoon around 3 o'clock, a vigil will be held for Junior. Live in the Concourse section of the Bronx, Natalie Duddridge, CBS 2 News.